Hi, thanks for checking out my channel and this review. Before we get started, if you could please just hit that subscribe button down below. It means all the world to me, definitely helps me out, and it helps you guys stay tuned with all the new reviews that I do and action videos that I put out. So I definitely appreciate that. With that said, we'll jump right into the review. So again, this is on a S10. How did I come about it? Well, my other phone that I had, which was a Galaxy S7, the battery was really just starting to go. It was just addicted to the charge cable. It couldn't get off of it, and it would just die so quick. So I needed a new phone. On top of that, I was kind of getting tired of Sprint, and I wanted to move over to Verizon, which is what my wife has. And so I also wanted to make that change as well. On top of that, I saw a great deal at the moment where I basically got almost about $700 back just for getting one of these phones. So that makes a world of difference. So with all that said, it led me to, again, the Galaxy S10. So basically what I want to do in this review is kind of give you a real world idea of what the average person thinks. A lot of the reviews, and they're great, they definitely helped me out, but a lot of them are just number driven. You know, how many number of cameras are there? How many number of megapixels? How many number of data and RAM and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. For the average person who doesn't use their phone, you know, to conduct crazy business or to design apps or something or whatever it is the change really going to matter to you? You know what I mean? And that's really what I wanted to know, especially with how expensive they are. It long has gone the days of you just upgrade and get the new phone and Sprint takes care of it for you. Now you're paying for it, even if it's broken out throughout your monthly payments. So is $1,000 justified by jumping from what you have to the newest thing? And so that's really what I want to do here. I'm going to be doing reviews again on the transformation from Sprint to Verizon, what my other choices were, what my thoughts were, and the pricing and that sort of thing. So I'm going to definitely have reviews on that going forward as well. You already know these phones are very expensive, so we definitely put cases on them and we put the clear film and the glass on top. So I'm going to be doing reviews on those as well. But here we are with the S10, and I just really want to do a quick unboxing. In a couple weeks, I'll do a follow-up video with my thoughts at that time, and then I'll do a more long-term video after about a month or two. What do I still think about the battery, the quality, all that kind of stuff, right? So with that said, let's jump right into it. So Galaxy S10 here. We'll just go ahead, open up the box. Ooh, yeah. So it's pretty standard, especially if you've had a Galaxy before. Your phone comes in this little thing. You got your earbuds down in there and a charging cable, you know, the basics. So I'll put that to the side for now, and we'll open this puppy up, and you can see my phone's in here. There's a little starter guide. You can check that out. I don't really think it's necessary for the time. The first thing I want to say that caught my eye is this, and I'll try to do a close-up on it. Hopefully the light's catching that. I don't really care about the way phones look too much. They're all pretty much the same. They're black on one side. They're probably black on the other. My other phone was. So I don't want to rant too much, but this really just caught my eye. I really like the color of it, and for somebody who doesn't really care about the way the phone design color stuff is, I mean, I happen to this time. So just something that I noticed and thought you might too. So we'll go ahead and, you know, standard things, start button, on button's right on here. So we'll turn it on. That was one other thing that'll take a little getting used to. This Samsung S10, to me, takes about 4 seconds of holding the on button before it really kicks on. My other one, the S10, or the S7, was more like 2-second hold. Not that it really makes a difference, but if you're used to the other phones, I kept trying to turn on the phone and it just wouldn't happen. So you can see it kicks right on right away. That's definitely one thing that I noticed going from the S7 to this was just the what do you call it? Well, I gotta put in my PIN because it's the first time I'm turning on the phone. Alright, so it's unlocking here. Really beautiful display. And I'm going to do close-ups and stuff like that. But this thing is just really, really clear. I mean, I can't stress it enough. It looks amazing. And I'm really impressed by that. Why do I have these plastic things still on? You might notice it. I don't know. I don't take them off yet. And hey, heads up if the Verizon or Sprint people or whatever don't tell you. But if you get one of these phones, I guess they come with about a year of warranty with them. But for some reason, Samsung wants these little plastic pieces. So once I do take them off, I'll stick them in the box and just shove it away. It's the weirdest thing. The guy at the Verizon store told me that, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. Corporate stuff, whatever. So here, we'll just go. You can see just how quick it is. Immediate. Very immediate. Here's a picture that I took of me and my wife. Do you see how clear that is? That's with the front camera. So there's noticeable difference. What the change is in this camera's stats or whatever, I'm not sure. But other than it also being integrated, you could see one thing that's interesting is they made the screen larger by integrating the camera right in. Now, does it bother you? Does it not bother you? So far, for me having the phone over the past like 48 hours, it doesn't bother me. Honestly, it kind of intrigues me a little bit. I find it fascinating how I have, screen around the camera. And when you have your wide videos, and I can put it on YouTube now, so you see that? The Amazon commercial's playing. It cuts off before the, so it cuts off right before the camera. So you don't even really notice it. But one thing I will tell you is that you are able to actually expand it even more. Oh, there you go. You just move it. Look at that. So now we have the video playing and it's around the camera too. And honestly, it's such a wide screen. I'd play it like that because you're really not going to notice the camera, and then you get a little bit more screen, maybe 5% or more. And on a size like this, 5% is a lot. So let me put this away. All right. So that was interesting to me. And that was one thing that I was hesitant about because for so long, especially me having an S7, this is my wife's Galaxy S8 here. I'd like to compare against my S7, but I had to trade it in. So I don't have it with me. And this is actually an S8 Plus. But for people who are a series or two behind, at least it'll give you some context. But yeah, so I wasn't really sure if it was going to bother me or not. And I'm happy to report, and I'm sure you'll be happy to know, it probably won't bother you too, and you'll probably find it interesting. So that's certainly one little interesting thing. Now, you can see my wife's Galaxy S Plus right here. This is the S10. You can see that the 8 Plus, is larger than my phone. But let me go ahead and turn hers on. Get over her messages so you ain't reading all her text. But despite how large it is, the actual screen of her screen versus mine is the same. So while her phone is maybe 1/4 of an inch taller than mine, width-wise it's about the same. It's almost negligible. Mine's a little thinner, I believe, but not by much. But despite mine being 1/4 of an inch shorter than hers, we have the exact same screen size. Now, as far as clarity, I'm going to go ahead and say that my phone is definitely a lot clearer than hers.
And it's lights out and away we go. They were held for quite a long time, and Sebastian Vettel got a really good start. He's already wheel to wheel and past Lewis Hamilton, and here comes Carlos Sainz as well.
All right. So I'm not sure how well that comes up, but I definitely think that the S10 is visibly just a little bit better. Now, to be honest though, her S7 Plus is a really great phone. The camera, the screen quality, so it's not like levels above. Although I will say that going from the S7 to the S10 is certainly a level above for sure. And I think there are some noticeable differences between like the S8 and the S10. just from the average consumer. I'm sure somebody can come up here and say, well, this, that, and this, that, it's clearly whatever, but what do you notice from your own human eye, the way you feel and so forth? If it was just based on video quality, I'm not quite sure I would go from an S8 Plus to an S10 just for that. But some of the other features, some of the other things may altogether warrant that kind of change. So yeah, definitely I can feel that my phone is lighter than hers, that's for sure. Definitely noticeable difference just from hand to hand. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, the phone is just really good. I really like it. There's 3 cameras on the back. Do I really think that makes a difference? I think it does. Now, whether there's 5 cameras or 3, I'm sure it all makes a big change. But going from like an S7 again to an S10, the camera quality, the way it takes pictures and stuff is incredible. So I'm not big on pictures, like when they always hype up the cameras. Like, it's cool that cell phones have cameras, yes, but I don't know. It doesn't really make too much of a difference to me. But if you are able to take pictures very quickly and it just turns right on, is ready to take the picture, and it does, and then even in a low light takes a great picture, that's definitely helpful. I think this has a lot of built-in stuff to it that can do those sort of things and just be noticeably easier. I took the first picture of my wife the other day, and it was not that lit in the room, and when I took it, you would have thought it was daylight. We had every window open. It was just pretty impressive. So again, from somebody who doesn't really care about the camera that much, but I do use the camera. I take pictures all the time with my cell phone. I'm just not a photographer, that kind of level. It's noticeable, and I definitely appreciate it. Now, one of the big changes is going from my phone, which has a home button, to this one, which does not. And also the way that it reads your fingerprint. It doesn't have the fingerprint scanner anymore. It has the ultrasonic. And we'll go ahead and lock it now. And pretty good. Now, I don't have the tempered glass on yet. I have my order coming in. I have white stone or something that I'm going to be putting on. The review will come up shortly as soon as I go to put it in or install it. So I don't have something that's over it. There is a sensitivity button in the settings somewhere, and I did see it. So if you get on some tempered glass or something like that and it's really not working as well, even for the ones that say it should work with the ultrasonic, you can always go in there and turn up the sensitivity. So I'm glad that I saw that, and I will use it if I need to. But you can see there it didn't work. There it didn't work. Then it did. I feel like it's kind of finicky. Now, it does give you a little clear area to put it down. I'm also not... I think it's also the kind of thing where you'll get used to the type of pressure that you apply each time. It shouldn't be barely touching, but it also shouldn't be like trying to smash the phone in. So that's one sort of thing. But I did notice, like I did it the other day, did it upside down, still works. So, and I will say that I put my fingerprint in there twice, just so when I do put in the glass that it has a better chance of reading it. And even if my hand's like a little sweaty or whatever it is, I don't know, at least it has a better chance of picking up my fingerprint right away. And I will say, it's a neat little party trick too. There's nothing there, but it reads it. I find that kind of interesting. The fact that it works just about as good as the regular fingerprint is good for me. And again, I'm sure after I use it a few times, then I'll be a pro at it. And even with the first fingerprint that I had with my S7, it was the same kind of thing. Like, you had to, store it in the right way. It did work upside down, but sometimes it just 1 or 2 times wouldn't work, and then it would. So I can't say this is worse or better. I think it's different, and I think it works about the same. So hopefully that helps you. You know what I mean? Like, if you were going to go to get this phone because it has that one feature, I'm not sure that's worth $1,000. But again, that feature is pretty neat. I like it. So, on a whole, like all together, it kind of works in the benefit of wanting to purchase this phone. What else can I really say about this? Again, I just got the phone, so I'm not a pro at it. I'm still like, I got all my apps and stuff in there. I'm still just going back through all my things, that sort of stuff, and just starting to text with it and that sort of stuff too. I enjoy it. I think it was a good purchase so far. I have no regrets. I definitely like the phone. the features that it has. I definitely am going to be keen to learn some more features that the S10 does have. And in my other video about switching from Sprint to Verizon, I'll talk about it more, but you definitely want to look out for incentives. So right now during the fall, especially for like Galaxy, Samsung, that sort of stuff, you're definitely going to be probably more apt to find some really good deals for it. So this one, my S7 was just out of the top tier, so instead of getting 500, I got 350. But like my wife's phone would have qualified for 500 and upwards. So I got 350 back, and then I also am going to be getting I think a $200 or $250 Visa gift card after 8 weeks. So that's a pretty good haul, all for somebody who already needed a new phone and was probably going to get a Galaxy anyway because I already had a Galaxy. And I will be doing also a review on why I stuck with Galaxy over going to iPhone versus Pixel, that sort of stuff. Again, you may not have all your questions answered by me, especially in just this single video. Perhaps more of the videos that I release over the next couple weeks will help you even more. But hopefully this was helpful in the overall aggregate of trying to get information as to whether you should get this phone or not. That's really the big deal to me. I know I like the real stats. I want the real data, what the hardcore numbers are. But I also want to know, like, hey, at the end of the day, does this make a difference or not? So far, I'm happy with my upgrade from my S7 to my S10. I think the money that I'm going to have to spend overall is worth it, especially with the incentives that I got back from purchasing this phone and everything that it has to offer. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Please hit that subscribe button down below. If you have any questions for me, please leave those down below as well. SK will always get back to you. Was this helpful? Did you want to know information that I didn't provide to you? What is it? Have you got a new phone recently? What did you move to? What is it? That sort of stuff. Start a conversation. I'm definitely happy to answer questions or just have a dialogue. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And my next review that's going to be coming up is going to be on the case that I got for this phone. And I'll just give you a quick glimpse. That's it right there. So it's different from the one I had before. Will I be switching back to the one I had before? Do I actually like this one? I don't know. We'll see. SK Lifestyle, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next time.